So welcome to our second YouTube video. Now if you watch my Instagram shorts or you're coming from YouTube shorts, you know that I always talk about building and selling AI agents and automations. Now that we are transitioning into long form content, I thought I should give you guys a quick idea on what are the actual 3 ways of making money with AI and which bucket we are using. So before deciding anything like which route you want to go, you should have a clear understanding of when you see online, oh, someone is making money with AI, how are they actually doing it? Now, if that is something that you want to know, you can stick around for the next few minutes. And if that is something you don't want to know, you can click away, because in the upcoming videos, we will be talking about all the stuff that we talk about in the shorts, like building automation, selling automations. But it's very important that you have a clear understanding before you go into that journey, like what are the actual 3 ways of making money with AI, right? So without further ado, let's get into it. The only 3 ways of wealth creation with AI, we have innovation, then elimination, and then automation. This is what we usually talk about in our videos. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. So first is innovation. So by definition, innovation is creating a new way to achieve an outcome that was not possible, practical, or even imaginable before. Now, it's not an improvement, it is an entire new way to achieve an outcome. Now, how does this correlate to automation? Now, if you know, automation is just improvement in the existing workflows. Innovation is different than that. So how does this correlate to we making money with AI? If we take traditional examples, airplane was an innovation, which was an entire new way to travel. Smartphone was an innovation, an entire new way to communicate. In the modern world where we have AI now, modern day AI innovations are Claude and ChatGPT, Mistral, DeepSeek, and all these other platforms. So can we make money with this? Unless you want to be next Sam Altman or Mark Zuckerberg, go for it. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, you can say like Facebook was not an innovation. That site existed before, he just improved it. But the idea is just creating something that is entirely new and so big that first of all requires insane amounts of capital, insane amounts of time, and then no guarantee of actually building something that changes the world like innovations do. So look, I'm all for dreaming big, but as a beginner, this is something that I don't think you should do, because as I said, requires an insane amount of time and capital. Do you know how much money ChatGPT has raised just to build their product? Let's look it up. $122 billion. That is the amount of capital that it took in the last 5-6 years to just build that company, and they're still getting more funding. But hey, if you still want to go this route, kudos to you. But as a beginner, I think this is something that you should just avoid, because our goal is just to make money and make money fast. Now we have elimination. Now, where innovation means a new way to solve a problem, elimination means technology removes the problem itself. So the old task is no longer needed. This is replacement. How does this correlate to automation? Again, automation is just improvement of existing workflows. You don't fire the entire department. Think about Claude. Their marketing department is handled by only one person, their entire marketing department, but still there is one person. If we talk about like a sales department of any company, and let's say they have 20 employees, if they automate their stuff, it's only going to replace what, 5, 6, 7 people, but some people are still gonna be there. It doesn't eliminate the job of sales entirely. So elimination just replaces the job and replaces the people who are doing that job. Let me give you an old example, and then we will move into the latest, like the advanced AI examples. So manure crisis. If you're familiar with manure crisis, in 1984, there was a problem that was caused by horses. Now, by manure, basically, manure in simple words is horses shit. What happened was, because they would only use horse and horse carts to travel, so the roads were full of manure, and this eventually caused a lot of issues for the cleaning labor. And then cars came and they eliminated that problem, and then jobs of cleaning labor no longer existed. There was no manure anymore. Now, how does this relate to latest examples where we have AI now, and can we make money with this process? Modern day eliminations are platforms like Arcades and Replit. So think about this. Arcades is just a UGC platform, helps you build user generated content, or let's say ads for your business. So what does this replace? All the agencies that used to give you the models, the editing agencies, media agencies, all of that is gone. Now you can have a video of an AI avatar which is as realistic as it can get right now, and the job is done and those agencies are replaced. And we have Replit. I'm sure you're familiar with this platform. This is basically replacing developers. Even if you have 10% understanding of code, you can build and then you can scale your software products using Replit. This has replaced developers. So this is basically you creating software products to replace the entire jobs. For example, eliminating the problem itself rather than improving it or creating something new. Now, it does require capital or at least some sort of monthly paychecks for AI coding tools and server costs. Now, Replit, I mean, you replace developers, right? And Replit is what, I don't know, $50 a month. But when you scale past a certain users, but you can make like 5-10K per month from that alone. That is not an issue. But once you scale past that, the server costs increase because now you will have more users. You will have more users, the more server costs, the more money you will have to pay every single month. Okay, there is still needs to be some sort of capital in the beginning. And this is also like just software, again, replacing traditional jobs. It can be really expensive in the beginning, but it could turn into a potential billion-dollar company. It is the same thing as the innovation, but the only difference is in the beginning, you would have at least way less capital needed compared to the innovation thing. Now, automation. This is something that I do. This is something that I talk about online as well. See, automation, on the other hand, is all about just making the existing processes better and more efficient. And the good thing is this can be a service-based business. And in the beginning, for a beginner, service-based business can be the easiest, the most cash flow positive to start. And let me explain how. So if I give you an example, robotic surgery. Doctors still perform the surgery, but AI robots aid in the process a little bit, making the process faster. That is automation in a nutshell. Can we make money with this? Yes, we can. Of course we can. Right now, this is something that all companies are desperately looking for. And the good news is you don't have to invent or create anything. All you have to do is just learn these simple platforms like Relevance, N8N, Vapi, Retail, and then you can provide that service to a business that is looking to automate their workflows. That's pretty much it. And then you can charge anywhere from $500 to $3,000 for installing that system. And then for maintenance, you can have a membership anywhere from $100 to $500 per month, depends on the size of the company you are selling your products to. The examples of this are automated candidate filtering system, AI qualification agents, automated Gmail managers, and labelers. Now, look, you might be thinking, well, we do need money in this situation as well. Yes, you do. But compared to the previous two options, this is very less. Like, think about this. Let's say that you live in UK or US, and all you have to do is just reach out to the business owners physically and just pitch them. And if you're talking about like softwares for email, like for reaching out and all that, these softwares can be used entirely free on your systems. This can be hosted for what, $3 a month. Relevance, for learning purposes, you can create multiple accounts and learn on free trial. I mean, I'm telling you, like, this is the insanely low, you don't have any money, zero money, that situation. And then for reaching out, there are email softwares that require what, $5 to $10 a month, and you can send anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 emails every single month, which is more than enough. If you are familiar with the good strategies of outreach, you can get a first client, right? It could be what, 15 to 20 bucks every single month to start this business. That is the beauty of a service-based business. The best part, you don't need that much capital. You don't need tens of thousands of dollars. You don't need any coding skills, just a basic understanding. And then all you need to learn is how to sell and solve problems with the given platforms. That's pretty much it. Now, another thing that I want to talk about before we end this video in the automation is that eventually, if you pick a niche in automation, you can turn that automation into a full-blown SaaS platform that you can sell on a membership. Let me give you an example. There's a platform called Ligora. So this is basically just an automation for lawyers. So let's say that you select your niche as lawyers and you're helping them with the manual work. Let me show you like their solutions for the law firms. Eliminate hours lost to manual due diligence and contract review, freeing your team to focus on the billable work that drives client value and firm revenue. It is the same thing that can be built in N8N or Relevance. Maybe at the back end, they are using the exact same logic, the exact same nodes that we use in N8N. They probably are. But the point is, because in automation, you have the flexibility to choose different niches. You choose a niche and you start helping them. Eventually, you will see that business owner, for example, dentists, all the dentists almost always have the same problem. problems. They just use a couple of different softwares. That's pretty much it. And then the automation that you are helping them with, you can turn that into a full-blown software product like Legora and start selling it on a membership. This alone could be over $1 million company. Okay, so you see the possibilities. This Legora, this is automation. This is not a, like, this is a software thing, but it's an automation. Again, you can see, you literally see what we say on our videos in our outreaches, eliminating hours lost to manual work. That's what this is. All right. Now, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. And we're going to be talking about automation, and some videos we're also going to be talking about the elimination stuff, but mostly we will be learning how to build and sell AI automations as beginners. All right. I'll see you in the next one.